Does democracy lead to peace? Have you ever wondered if democracy really leads to a more peaceful world? This question is at the heart of political philosophy and ethics. It connects deeply with contractarianism, which focuses on social agreements and mutual respect as the foundation for ethical governance. Democracy is a system where power lies with the people, usually through elected representatives. This system is built on values like political freedom, civil liberties, and accountability. Ethically, democracy aligns with principles of justice and respect for individual autonomy. Decisions about war and peace involve the consent or input of the governed, making it a more thoughtful process. One interesting idea is the democratic peace theory. This theory suggests that democracies are less likely to go to war with each other. The roots of this theory can be traced back to Immanuel Kant's essay titled Perpetual Peace, written in 1795. Kant argued that republics, which are early forms of democratic governments, are less prone to war. This is because decisions about or requiring the consent of citizens who will bear the costs of conflict. In contrast to monarchies or autocracies, where leaders can declare war unilaterally, democracies involve public accountability. This makes leaders more cautious about engaging in war, as they face potential political consequences and public opposition. Several ethical reasons explain why democracies tend to maintain peace with one another. First, accountability is key. Elected leaders must answer to voters who suffer the human and economic costs of war. This encourages peaceful conflict resolution. Second, democracies often share similar political systems and values. This reduces perceptions of threat and hostility between them. Third, democratic states typically develop diplomatic institutions and legal frameworks that facilitate peaceful negotiations and conflict resolution. Lastly, democracies emphasize the protection of individual rights and justice, which extends to their approach in international relations. However, it is important to note that this theory does not claim that democracies are peaceful in all situations. They may engage in conflict with non-democratic states or in cases where public influence over leaders is weaker. Some critics argue that peace between democracies might be influenced by other factors, such as economic interdependence or geographic proximity, rather than democracy itself. From an ethical perspective, democracies' focus on consent, justice, and accountability aligns with moral principles that discourage unnecessary violence. By involving citizens in decisions about war and peace, democracies create a social contract where individual rights and welfare are central. This makes war a last resort rather than a tool of unilateral power. In practical terms, promoting democratic governance can be seen as a moral strategy to reduce conflict and enhance global peace. Encouraging democratic institutions supports ethical governance by ensuring that power is exercised with respect for human dignity and collective decision-making. In essence, democracy contributes to peace primarily through mechanisms of accountability, shared values, and respect for human rights. While it may not guarantee a world free of conflict, democratic systems create conditions that make war less likely, especially between democratic states.